Grilled or boiled? Which way is lobster better? Let's find out. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the FOGO Life. You know, last time we made a lobster video, we caught all kinds of questions. People kept telling me, oh, Maine lobster, northern lobster, it should be boiled. That's the only way to make it, or steamed. You know, I said, no, grilled is great. No, so guess what? Today, we're going to take these two identical tails, and we're going to cook one boiling it, and we're going to cook one grilling it. We're going to find out once and for all what's better, boiled or grilled. I have my idea of which is better, but let's find out for sure. While you're here, hit subscribe, okay? Give us a thumbs up and ring the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss anything we've got coming up. It's some pretty cool stuff, believe me. Let's get started on the lobster. I'm really curious to see how this turns out. I hope you are too. Now we're going to use two different methods of doing this, like I said. The first one is going to be the boil method. We're going to get this pot of water here going, really boiling in a nice heavy roll. We're going to drop the tail in. We're going to drop the heat down and cover it. Let it cook for about 6-8 minutes or something like that. That's about how long it takes to boil a lobster tail. The other one, we're going to split it down the back, pull the meat out of the shell and set it on top. We're going to cook this at about 275 degrees. Should take about the same amount of time, maybe a touch longer. But we're going to see which one has better texture, which one has better flavor, which one we like better. Notice we're using both northern Maine lobster style tails, so there's no discrepancy over which one's better. Keeping it simple this time. So like I said, we're going to cook the second lobster tail on the Mini Max over here. Now what I did is I took this apart and just cleaned out the bottom and the inside. Look how nice and clean everything is. We have no old ash, no anything in there. So real simple. We're going to put our kick ash basket in. We're going to fill that with charcoal. We're going to put our divider in. And then the grate, plain and simple. Come on, let's go clip some herbs in my garden. A little fresh rosemary. Got some Italian oregano. I think we'll throw a couple sage leaves in there. And last but certainly not least, a little bit of thyme, because we got to make the thyme. Okay, so one thing, when I make this butter for the lobsters, I love to cook with fresh garlic. Don't get me wrong, I cook it with everything. For this, I like to use garlic powder. So we're gonna add a little bit more than a teaspoon of garlic powder to the butter. How about those lobster tails? Aren't they sweet? We got those from a place called Lobster Anywhere in Amesbury, Massachusetts. They'll deliver right to your door, and it's awesome stuff. So we got this one gonna be boiling for about 6 to 8 minutes. That one's cooking away at 250 degrees. I'm curious to see, that butter's gonna be delicious on either one, I know that. But I'm curious to see if there's a difference in texture, in flavor. I'm really just anxious to see the difference. So this way I can answer this question once and for all. Let's put this baby on, shall we? Oh yeah, so we're humming along at 250. We're putting this one on first because this one may take a little bit longer than the boiling. Set everything right in there. Close her down. Good night. There we go, roll and boil. Into the pot she goes. 6 to 8 minutes. Now you probably noticed that we're using two of the same lobster tails. We tried to find two very similar in size and both Maine lobster. Maine lobsters have claws. Spiny lobsters from the south do not have claws, so we wanted to make sure we're using the same kind of tails, about the same weight. We wanted to make this as even as possible. They come from the same depth. I don't know if that would make a difference or not, but maybe it would. So It's gonna be pretty interesting. This thing smells so good just boiling away. I can't wait. Shh, don't tell anybody. Let's take a sneak peek. Ooh-wee. We are doing a little experimenting here. Now, I think this one's gonna be done a lot sooner. I thought maybe they would cook about the same amount of time. I probably wasn't really thinking clearly. The grill's gonna take a little bit longer, but this thing is looking awesome. It's bright red already. So we've got about another 2 minutes till it comes off. So I'm gonna bore you for 2 minutes by talking about nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be right back. The only difference I'm gonna do is I'm gonna baste this one a little bit while we're cooking it. And we're right at 7 minutes, so we're gonna pull this baby out of here. Oh, I can't even find it. Look at all those bubbles. Oh, look at that color. Is that awesome or what? Okay, we're going for a final temperature of 145 here. Let's see what we've got. 143, we'll take it. Like American as apple pie, baby. So boy, I had a really good idea which one I thought was gonna be better before, but when I cut into this one and saw how white that meat is, I don't know. The only way to really find out, I guess, is to try. I'll have to take one for the team and try it out here. I'm gonna start with the grilled. Okay, a little bit of the butter. Here we go. Oh yeah. Tender. Tasty. That grill adds some nice flavor. Those tails are so good. Wow, that was really good. Nice, little bit of smoky flavor, really good. Let's dive right into the boiled tail. I'm gonna take a smaller piece this time. Look how white that is. It's just gorgeous. A little bit of butter. Here we go. You know, for me, I think the best thing about making these videos is that I get to try all this delicious food. This is a real dilemma, having to decide which one's better. So here's what I think. I think that the texture is better on the boiled tail. A little bit softer, a little more buttery, like texture kind of to it, you know. The grilled one has a little bit more, a little tougher, maybe a little tougher texture. And it's got that grill flavor. So I'd say that all in all, I'd have to say that I prefer the one with the grilled flavor to it. It just has that little bit of extra flavor that adds something to, probably because I love grilled foods and love smoked foods. I think that that did it for me though. It just put it over the edge just a little bit over the boiled tail. Both very good. I wouldn't throw either one of them off of my plate. I can tell you that right now. But I'd have to give it to the grilled one just because that extra little bit of smoky grilled flavor that really added to it. For texture, I'd go with the boiled one, but overall, definitely the grilled lobster. I want you to try the same test and tell me what you think. Let's see, okay? Now, remember, the important thing is subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw here, okay? Seriously, subscribe if you liked it. Ring the bell, get notifications when we have other stuff coming out. We got some really cool and interesting things coming up. We got some experiments, we got some cooks. It's gonna be great. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in again. We really appreciate you joining us here on the FOGO Life. Get out and grill, and we'll see you next time.